Hey, what's up? I'm JK with Elevated Recovery, and today we're going to be talking about immediate gratification. What's better than an orgasm, really? It's one of the most exhilarating and pleasurable experiences that we can have as human beings. Now, I'm sure there's some sort of mental equivalent with drugs, maybe, but orgasms come without any side effects. So precisely for that reason, there's nothing that can compete with them. Now, I always laugh when I hear people who are, anti-drug or anti-alcohol preach against these things. Then later you find out that they're addicted to releasing a chemical cocktail in their brain several times a day through masturbation. Now, when you have access to something that feels so good, that satisfies you on such a deep level, there's a tendency to go back to it over and over again. But the problem is, you're not considering the consequences of your decision to chase orgasms over and over again. Many times, men who struggle with porn and sex addiction tell themselves that they are going to masturbate, but they're not going to orgasm. But what happens when you get to that critical decision-making point? Well, you already know what happens. You choose orgasm because you want it now. There have been several studies done which show that children who don't have much self-control frequently grow up to lead less successful lives as adults. However, you can control your immediate gratification. You can learn how to put off short-term gratification for long-term results. The short-term benefit is almost always smaller than the long-term benefit. This immediate gratification habit from orgasm also extends to other areas of your life, such as your eating habits, your financial habits, your sleeping habits, your internet browsing and entertainment habits, and much more. So it's a very powerful thing. What are some of the long-term benefits of not having an orgasm right now? Well, you're able to work on other areas of your life, such as developing intimate relationships. An addiction to orgasm before you've developed intimate relationships not only puts your relationships at risk, but it makes it less likely that you will even enter one. And for those of you having casual sex, an immediate gratification problem with orgasms can lead you to making bad decisions. It can lead you to exposing yourself to STDs, as well as emotionally unstable individuals who you should actually not be having casual sex with. You'll also spend less money and time chasing orgasms, less money on campsites, less money on escorts, and less time on porn. And from personal experience, I can tell you that the amount of time that was freed up from watching porn has allowed me to accomplish so much more in my life. It's almost unbelievable. I have a completely new respect for time. You'll also avoid drama with your friends and family, and you'll avoid breaking the law. And all of this creates incredible amounts of stress, the secrets, the risky behavior, the guilt, and the fear of being found out. Now, this is not just for orgasm. This is done all the time. So people hold back on eating out, buying clothes, gadgets, and entertainment in order to save money to buy a home. People do these things. Others avoid eating sugar and carbs in order to lose weight. A little bit of a personal story. So to put myself through college, I drove a junky 1990 Ford Taurus and sold books door to door every summer with no weekends off for 13, 14 hours a day. And it took me a long time to graduate, but I didn't want to graduate with any debt. So how do we fix instant gratification? Well, the good news is that there's only one step to this. The bad news, I guess, is that it takes practice. So to do this, you separate the emotional part of the orgasm process from the rational. I'm going to give you an exercise that will help you do this. But before that, let me give you an example from my life. So, as I mentioned earlier, when I was in college, I had the choice to take out a student loan and pay for summer classes, or take the summer off like many other college students did and enjoy myself. Instead of focusing on all the fun I could have in the summer, I instead chose to focus on what my life would be in the fall and after I graduated. So I wanted real-world experience through an internship or a job, and I didn't want to be broke as a college student. Now, that intense focus on the things that I wanted in the long term caused me to put off having fun till later. And as a result, all through my college years, I never had a spring break, a summer break, or even a fall break. I was either, doing an internship, selling door to door, or building a business. And if I only focused on the pleasurable things like, video games or going on trips or getting high and drunk, I would have given into it. Now, don't get me wrong. The temptation was definitely there, and I was not perfect. But I did learn that I learned through that process that you can become adapted to seeking long-term gratification as opposed to short-term pleasure. And bear in mind, this was all while I was addicted to porn, okay? So here's the exercise. Write out your immediate sexual gratification problem with orgasm. So it could be, the need to watch porn and masturbate immediately when you have the urge, the need to have an orgasm through sex, so you have this immediate urge to call or visit an escort. And there are also men who need the gratification so much that they will seek orgasm with another man or a transgender individual when they cannot find a woman. And these are people who identify as straight men, but they've become opportunistic with orgasms because of instant gratification. It could also be the need to go on a campsite, spend money, and watch someone live to orgasm. It could be cruising, driving around, spending time on dating apps, or going to a club to pick up someone to, have sex with immediately, despite the fact that there are other things that you need to do. So whatever your instant gratification problem is, write it down. Then write out the pleasurable emotional aspects to it and the rational aspects of it. So for example, you may have the desire to pay for sex with a prostitute. Now, the emotional aspects could be the physical feeling of penetrating another human being. It could be certain sounds. Maybe you get high when you do it, and that increases, how pleasurable the experience is. All those are emotional and may even cause, physical reactions as you're writing them down. Now, on the other side of the page, okay, write out the rational aspects. Now, one rational aspect could be that you'll be spending your money that was budgeted for something else, like paying your rent. And because of that, you'd be short on your rent by the end of the month and have to go through the maybe the embarrassment of borrowing money as an adult from your parents or a friend in order to make rent. Now, another could be that you run the risk of perhaps contracting an STD from having sex with a prostitute. And you could also consider the fact that maybe one time you go there, it's a police sting, or you're in a shady situation and you get robbed. So many things could happen. But the more you practice this, the better you'll get at it. Now, this exercise is not meant to be done when you feel the urge, okay? If you can do it then, that's fantastic, good for you. But if it can be done now, like right after watching this video, and perhaps every morning and evening, instead of using your willpower, you simply use your mind's ability to think about thinking. And that's what separates you from every other creature on earth. You can think about thinking, and you have the ability to improve your condition as a human being by choice. So one more thing. This week, I'm hosting a live webinar called The 7 Secrets of Porn-Free Men. This is a simple 45-minute live training where I share the 7 most impactful things that all my clients in recovery who have been in recovery and not watched porn for over 2 years, what they believed had actually helped them quit their porn addiction. To join, all you need to do is click on the link in the description below. I'm JK, your brother in this struggle. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you found it helpful, please share it with 3 other men who you feel could benefit from it. Have a great day.